Hi again and welcome back. You're watching part 2 of Securing Ubuntu Linux from the screencasts of mazblog.com. In today's screencast or tutorial, we'll be looking at further securing Ubuntu Linux by updating the source repositories and also updating applications. This is extremely useful when securing Ubuntu because it fixes many exploits that might have come out during the release times. I suppose an update once every fortnight to a month would be the way to go. So the first thing we want to do is view where Ubuntu actually gets its file sources from, and to do that we can use the cat command which actually outputs the contents of a file, and the list is actually available in /etc/apt /sources list. So once we've hit the return button, we can see that Ubuntu goes to many places to get its files and obviously update the system. I wouldn't recommend changing anything over here simply for the fact that the sources you see above are trusted sources. So chances of something or an application getting downloaded that has an exploit built into it are a lot less if you go the route of the traditional repository lists. So the first thing we'd want to do is update these lists, see if Ubuntu has in fact got any other source lists that might be of use to us, and to do that we're going to issue the aptitude command followed by the command update. Now you want to do this as root, and obviously based on the previous tutorial you're going to log in as demo and you're going to either use the command sudo -i, or you can simply su to the root user. Hit the return key, and Ubuntu is now going to go into its various archives and have a look and see what is in fact available. This process doesn't take very long at all. In fact, it should be finished in a matter of seconds. So there we go. So now you can see that it's got 39 updates, 31 are new. Now the next thing you'd actually want to do here is physically update the system, and to do this you're going to issue the command aptitude space full-upgrade. Hit the enter key. Now it's going to prompt you saying, do you want to continue? It's going to ask you to verify basically what it's about to do and what it's about to install. Now you might get a screen when you update, and I just wonder if it'll pop up over here. It's normally a bash script that pops up, and let's just see if this. Yep, there it is. Okay, so basically what it's going to ask us to do is set up the console, and you can just hit the return key on UTF. Okay. So whilst it does this, to give you an idea, what's basically happening is your Linux server or your Linux system is now on the hunt for all the packages and downloading and installing them with simply issuing a command. Now this has come a long way since the old days, and also if you're using the GUI version of Ubuntu, it actually makes it easy. You can set it to do this for you at a specific or a predetermined date and time of the month. So it's almost finished updating here. It shouldn't be much longer, and I do know that there is a new Ubuntu release scheduled for the 23rd of April, I believe. Okay, so that's all been done, and what you've done now is successfully updated your Ubuntu system. Now the next thing I'd like to talk about very briefly is installing something called meta packages. Now a meta package is a one-stop shop for a lot of packages that will perform a single feature. So for today's tutorial, in example, we'll be using something called build essential. Now this would obviously be used if you were using a server, for example, and you needed to build certain applications, and as opposed to going and installing GCC, make, all separately, Ubuntu makes it really easy, and what you can actually do is get away by issuing the command aptitude space install space and then the meta package name. In this case it's build essential. Hit the return key, and once again it's going to prompt us for the packages that we want to install listed over here. We're obviously going to say yes for the sake of the tutorial, and you can see Ubuntu is busy downloading, unpacking and installing. So once this has finished, as it now has, this pretty much concludes the tutorial part 2 of securing Ubuntu Linux. Tutorial 1 very briefly went through adding users to the sudo wheel group, securing SSH, and to summarize this tutorial, we've fully updated the Ubuntu source list, we've updated the repositories, in other words, we've issued the physical upgrade, and we've also installed a meta package. As always, you can download this tutorial in HD, and for the sake of taking the tutorial a little bit slower, there's a step-by-step guide on mazblog.com. Simply hop on over there and you're looking for Securing Ubuntu Tutorial 2. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to part 3, where we'll be exploring IP tables in order to firewall the system.